New efforts are underway in Congress to curb domestic terrorism after the recent spate of mass shootings across the U.S. And the man leading one such effort is Southern California Congressman and Chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Adam Schiff, who joins us here today. Welcome.
Thank you. Great to be with you.
Yeah, we were just chatting before the show about how you're Raiders fans, and actually you have deep Bay Area roots, right? Tell us about that.
I do. I grew up in the Bay Area, lived in Alamo, Danville, went to Monte Vista High School, and then to Stanford. And I'm an Oakland Raider fan.
Yep.
They'll always be the Oakland Raiders to me.
Of course, right? And
yeah.
You want Antonio Brown to put on that helmet and play, right?
I do. I do. Just put on the helmet,
right.
Okay?
All right, safety first. Okay, I do want to get to something more serious, and you've introduced a new bill. It's called the Confronting the Threat of Domestic Terrorism Act. Tell us what it would do.
It would establish a crime of domestic terrorism. Most Americans, I think, are surprised to learn there isn't a crime of domestic terrorism. We do have an international terrorism statute to go after people who are ISIS or Al-Qaeda inspired. But this would make sure that we devote the same time, attention, resources. We give prosecutors the same tools they have to combat international terror. Because I think at this point, Americans on American soil are at least as much at risk of being killed by a domestic terrorist acting because they're a white nationalist or some other hateful ideology, as they are to be killed by someone motivated by ISIS. But those cases are not getting the same level of attention, resources, and effort, and this is an effort to address that.
All right, gun control is a related topic, and we have to address that as well. Do you think after Dayton, El Paso, and various other mass shootings, there is now the political will to take on new legislation in a meaningful way? And if so, what would that look like?
I think there is, and one of the things that I found very encouraging in terms of political will is in the midterm elections, you had any number of candidates, Democratic candidates, running for the House, running on this issue, running towards this issue, not running away from it in purple districts and purple states and winning. I think Americans are just fed up with this. So we don't have to accept this as the new normal in America. So we are getting to that tipping point. Right now, of course, the huge obstacle is Mitch McConnell, but he's facing a very credible challenger. We're going to have to flip the Senate ultimately to get real progress in this. But we are, I think, getting to a tipping point. We need to show the NRA can be beaten on assault weapons, on extended ammunition clips, on universal background checks, so that we can protect the public.
All right, the big headline yesterday, though, was Deutsche Bank admitting that it does have Trump family tax records, right, the tax returns, and your committee actually issued the subpoena. So what now? When do you expect to get those tax returns, and then what will you be looking for in them?
Well, as you mentioned, we subpoenaed Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank was willing to cooperate, but they were essentially sued by the Trump organization to stop them. That was heard in the district court, and we won. District court said turn over the records. They appealed to the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals just heard that argument. That's how we learned that they have tax returns among the other documents. And we have been pushing for an expedited resolution of the appellate case so that we can finalize this and get the materials and determine whether the president is acting in the way he is, trying to invite Russia back into the G8. Because he's financially beholden to Russia. This is something that Mueller really didn't look into. He viewed it as, I assume, beyond his scope. But we are trying to follow the money. Now, we know that the president was compromised financially by his interest in building that Moscow Trump Tower, but there may be more to it than that, and I think it would be irresponsible for us not to find out.
All right, a lot more to talk about, but we are out of time, so I'm going to have to say thank you for coming in, Congressman Schiff.
My pleasure.
And Monte Vista grad, so you'll come back in the future for